Hello, all. Welcome back to episode 2. Let's get back into this. Hope you all had a good Christmas break, good New Year's. Start the year off right into this new game. Alright, so we gotta hunt some animals. Rabbit trap, still armed. Go hand in this quest too. Or go accept this quest, I mean. Looks to be 4 quests up here.
Hello. Goodbye. It's nice to meet you.
I am finished. The yields were awful this year. I have never had enough crops to sell, nor the money to pay the taxes. The king will surely take my head. You know, I could try to help you. You would really do that? I warn you, it's quite a sum. That's fine, I'll help. Thank you. Hello, Rasmir. Are you getting settled? The valley is treating me very nicely so far. That's wonderful. But you come at a poor time. My duties as a Castletian await me. Of course, I understand everything is alright. Yes, it is. It's not sure to be I'm not sure, to be honest. There's been a murder. Oh my. I thought things like this didn't happen here too often. Because they don't. I'm just about to go to the crime scene and question the witness, and I honestly don't know what to expect. Remember, everyone lies. I like that. Huh. I'm actually meet a limp medic once that they used to say that a lot. The medic that couldn't heal himself. I'm sure he was great at his job. Jokes aside, Rasmir, that's really a serious matter. I won't be able to share more stories with you at the moment, but I believe there is someone you should meet. His name is Sabor. He was one of us. The pack, I mean. Are you serious? He lives here in the valley? That's right. All of them do, actually. Here, I'm Mark Smear's house on your map. You should pay him a visit. Great, I'll do it right away. But beware, calling Sabor friendly is like being stung by a bee right on the tip of your manhood pleasant. Ooh, that sounds rough. Well, I'm sure you're exaggerating, but here was a part of the reminder after all. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'll be on my way then. Hello.
an unfamiliar face. Welcome.
Help. I have a hole in my roof. I'll give you what you need. Hi. Hi, hi, you are Dalebor, right? Yes. You look very strong for your age. Have you ever thought of becoming a knight? It's my dream. Are you a knight? No, but I know quite a lot about them. Did you know that many of them started learning to fight with a wooden sword already at your age? Where could I get a sword? Not a knight? It just so happens that I have one with me, and I can give it to you because you're clearly worthy. I'm honored. It may look inconspicuous, but it's certainly an excellent practice weapon for an inspiring knight like you. It looks like a regular stick. To surprise your enemies, and do you know what else knights do besides fighting battles? They ride horses. This as well, but most of them all they do is protect the ladies and children from danger and make sure that no harm is done to them. Really? Sounds like a lot of work. Yes, this is the most important principle of chivalry. Alright, thank you for the sword, not a knight. Now I'm going to defend those in need. You are welcome, young master, you're welcome. Alright, what's next? Go to the journal. Gotta hunt a wild animal for chapter 1 still. Talk to him. Hello, Jar. I'm gonna call you Jar. I've been sent by... What for? I've heard that you are the one that supplies ride to the tavern, is that right? So? I'm sorry, is this not a good moment? Forgive me, I didn't mean to be rude, I'm just dealing with some personal issues. I don't want to intrude, just want to ask about the rye situation. Unfortunately, we won't be able to provide the rye at this time. The crop's all diseased and pretty much unusable, as if I didn't have enough problems already. But don't worry, I ordered delivery of rye from Rolnica. It should be here yesterday, actually. Don't know what happened. Nerder is very prompt. Maybe you could go see him and check it out for me? That's what I'm going to do. Take care. Talk to... Is this guy in town? Yes, he's right here. Cool. Oh. Hi, I have solved your problem with Dalibor. Yes, I saw him running around the village with a stick. You must be an amazing gift of persuasion. Young boy, one does not listen to anyone. You gave me an idea with the stick and the story about the knight. By the way, I got this bread from as an apology for her brother's behavior, but I think you have earned it. Here, take it. Thank you. No problem. It's the most refined bread you've eaten. Our Castleton's wife makes it in our local tavern. Oh, did you happen to know the man in charge? Unigus well? No, not really. I spent most of the time in the field and our paths only across when it's time to pay some taxes. Alright. Alright then, see you soon. I think this guy's far away. I can do this one. Also gotta do the main quest. Gonna head towards that and hunt on the way. Probably gonna have to eat some food soon. It's noon. Okay. Quite a trek to get to this guy. Sambor. I apologize if I don't get any of these names right. They're quite unfamiliar to me. Look at the land. Birds chirping. It's quite neat. Quite pleased with this game so far. I don't know if it's like food is kind of hard to come by for me. I could sprint and get there much quicker. Probably save the viewers a lot of time. Ooh, maybe I'm gonna hunt a fox. Oh, he's running. Finally. Whew. Guy took a lot of him. Do I have any bandages? That fight was something else. First time I fought in this game though, so gotta get used to it all. I think you lost, bully. Sorry, I didn't mean to Wait a second. Look me in the eye. Stop shivering from crying out loud. Huh. Black and blue, you're Godin's family, aren't you? Yes, my name is Rasmir. You must be Sabor then. How do you know that? I was talking with Unigus. He told me that you were the part of the reminders as well. Part of what now? The pact, one with Unigust and Jodin. Never heard that idiotic name in my life. Oh, sorry, maybe I made a mistake. We were called the Undying Fist. Oh my. That's so much worse. I hear a wolf in the background. I didn't even read it. Just whatever. What do you know? What are you? Like 12? No. Normally I would argue with you about that, but I'm afraid you kicked the bucket during the dispute, old man. Oh, there's something I would kick for sure. So, smart choice, not. Anyway, I would love to hear some stories about my uncle and the Pact adventures altogether. That's an amazing coincidence because I would love to spend my time telling the tales by the crackling fire. Oh my, really? No, leave my property. Forget where it is. Oh, come on. It will only take a moment of a moment, really. Just tell me, what was my uncle like? How did you become part of the Undying Fist? And, what did you do actually as the pack? You don't know what we did. You guys didn't get to that part yet. Alright, but be quiet, try to be less annoying. Where should I begin, right? It all started with Jodin left his home. He was 18 at the time. If I remember correctly, that clever bastard was always trying, always too big of a fish for his birthplace, and he knew that. Left as soon as he could, but cleverness at such a young age always means two things, being ignorant and hot-headed. His plan was to set out on a big adventure. That's it. Pretty detailed, huh? A path like that is paved with skeletons of young idiots, but none of them were Jodin. Either way, he was wandering for days. Days soon turned into weeks. His rations into dust. He was useless as a hunter, back then at least. So berries and mushrooms were all he could get. So obviously he needed some coin. He came across a manor with an orchard so vast that he could seemed like an ocean. Jodin hired himself there. A week of back-breaking labor he passed. His hands were covered in blisters, skin red from the scorching sun, knees pulsing from pain. I must say, you really are an amazing storyteller. I wouldn't expected that. Shut up. Do you want me to finish? Where was I? Oh yeah, right. He was exhausted from all the strenuous work he had done, went to the lord of the manor with a smile on his face to collect his parent. His stomach was already full with fantasies of all the delicious treats he was dreaming of buying, and that was ruined by the hand of the lord holding a couple of lousy coins. Listen. Jotun was furious. This was a mere fraction of the payment he was supposed to acquire. He started shouting at the lord, demanding justice. Peasants were just flies to the lord. Disgusting, replaceable insects, and what do you know with a fly when it buzzes too loudly? Both of the lord's palms struck Jotun's ears with the strength of an ox. Jotun fell to the ground, stunned. The Lord Scott threw him out of the manor like garbage, stealing the few pathetic coins while doing so. If I may add, it wasn't until evening when Jotun regained his hearing and it came a fervent thought of revenge. Your uncle was quite a capable fighter when I met him 10 years ago, but he wasn't back then. He knew the guards would massacre him if he only came close, so he needed to find another way to fulfill his vengeance. Joan was always ambitious, but that hatred fueled him like nothing before. And what happened next? What came later was me becoming bored with this conversation. Go away. No way, you can't leave me like this. I can do whatever I want. Scram, I have things to do. What things? I'll do them for you. I'll do anything you want, just please tell me the whole story. Damn, you're annoying. Please, 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 please. Fine, just shut up already. Just say what needs to be done, you won't regret it. Grab the shovel, it's a piece of... on a boss. I like how the knife pops up out of it. I gotta go get the clay. Behind his house, he said. Clay deposit. Got one more deposit. Oh, right here. I think these are worth something. It seemed like it, but I don't know. Alright, go back and hear the rest of the story. It's going to be awesome. You have it? Here's all the clay you want. Will you finish the story now? Alright, alright. So, as I already said, Jotun wasn't much of a fighter back then. He didn't have any money nor connections, but he had one thing, an unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Jotun was an exceptional good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells really. Steady breathing, eye contact, tell all the way. He eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even if the craziest of situations, but it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. He was natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it really hard to believe that it worked so perfectly. At first he convinced a nearby town tailor to sew him a whole set of clothes worthy of the most wealthy noble. The finest of fabrics, silk and threads, you name it. Horrendously expensive. So how did he manage? He managed to afford it, you might ask. It's simply he didn't pay for it, so he stole it. I said no such thing. Yoda wasn't a thief, not in the traditional meaning of the word at least. Apart from that, did I finish the damn story? Ah, well, wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king and entered it. Okay, now I know that you are making this all up. That's simply impossible. You're absolutely right, it is. It's mad to even consider trying to pull that off, but Yoden, he just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. Damn, I would have been the first to doubt at least like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later with my own eyes. Apparently he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan, which was betting his wife. Oh, whose wife? The king's. The king's wife. So the queen. Indeed. So let me get this straight. The man was to get into the castle and lay with the queen. Exactly that. You were right. That is the most absurdly idiotic plan I've ever heard. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. What worked? What was he accompanied by that? Or accomplished by that? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments in the bedside, and told the queen he'll be back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the knight's guards and told him that he saw the queen with a company of a strange man and sneaking into one of the chambers. The guard rushed in and witnessed the queen naked in bed with a man's clothes right next to her. A loyal servant, the guard reported the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife, that would be bad for his reputation, but he would pursue her lover. Fortunately for him, at this point Yoden was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare he borrowed from the stable in Sunset. I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but he didn't mean he wouldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the one thing that Yoden left behind. Expect his undergarments and a pleasurable memory from the queen. His name, now his real name of course, the name he used when introducing himself to the queen was the Orchard Lords. Precisely, now you get it. That's incredible. The Lord's head must have been left the company of the body pretty promptly. He didn't get killed. That wouldn't be in the Yoden style. The queen begged for her life to be spared, so the king threw her in the dungeon where he spent all the days he had left. Yoden was amazing, all that, but just the power of his wits and speed, he surely showed the Lord that he wouldn't have been wronged. Don't get the idea wrong about his reasons. Yoden didn't get through all of that just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was a cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all his subjects, killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him Laundryman because one of his habits were drowning the bastard in the lake right after his birth, like unwanted kittens. Ooh. Yoden needed to stop him, and he did, but that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successor, but then it was just an uncanny perfect timing came distant cousin of the Lord, a charming young man with two different eyes. You have to be kidding. He easily acquired all the possessions of his sentence, the relative, but Jotun didn't want any of that. Not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury and left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He was still probably worshipped there. I can tell you that. One and more thing. Why 3 bags, you might ask? That's easy. For the tailor, another one for the stableman, and he took the horse from, and the one for the last one for himself, with the exact amount of coins he was rightfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. I told you Jotun wasn't a thief, and that wasn't it. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm counting his adventures. At least that's the story he used to tell us, so nothing that may be all true at all, but that's just how it was, how Jotun was. Now I understand what you and Unigus were talking about. He really does seem surreal. I never met anyone else like that, don't get me wrong. He had his flaws, but things he can do. His tongue wasn't even silver, it was made out of pure gold. But wait, you didn't tell me what was the purpose of the Unitus purpose of the Undying Fist. Oh, I thought that was obvious now. On that day, Jotun's mission was born. He knew that he spoiled, run, elites like that were scattered all around the world, draining life and dignity from the hard-working simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them to some extent at least. So that exactly was his started doing, overthrowing corrupt lords and giving back the community. Sounds like a hero, a true hero. Well, it wasn't like, yeah, I guess you can say that. So how did you join the pack? Jotun was working solo until he met Unigus. The rat agile fingers could work with Jotun's tongue didn't. And then they needed someone with other talents that were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Right, I think I get the picture. So they recruited the best there was. I was between at the jobs, so I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make difference, but I don't like to brag. Oh yes, I noticed. Humble to the bone. Thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills, just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. Anywho, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anyway, so it's time for you to go, and preferably don't come back ever. It was a great pleasure and true honor. Yeah, I don't care. Leave now, and in return for giving away my location, deliver the delicious meal to Unigus. It's his favorite. Knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. Of course. I'm on my way, sir. I gotta go back home. long journey back. House is this way. I'm worried about the quest in the morning. Sleep till the next night. Hmm. Okay. Let's go finish off this day. Get some water first. I don't know if you can swim in this game. I haven't came across that yet. I have some food. Go give Unit Gust his knuckle sandwich. There he is. He's a real sweetheart, isn't he? The sweetest, like a jar of honey. That's Sapor for you. I see. He did tell me about my uncle, though. The story about the Lord of the Orchards. He was something unexpectedly good storyteller skills, isn't he? Yes, he really does. It was downright astonished by that. One time I swear he went for over a year without speaking a single word. But when we were sitting by the fire, he remembered some anecdote, laughed out loud, and began his tale. Went from the total mute to the master of the ceremonies. The narrative was so gripping it was hard not to listen. He even did voices. But after finishing, he became silent again. I've never fully understood that side of him. A theater genius trapped in the body of a bear wrestler. He actually asked me to give you something. Really? What is that? A knuckle sandwich. Yeah, that sounds exactly like him. So are you going to deliver? Oh sure, I love people punching me in the face around the valley I've known for it. Would you be so kind to do it for free though? I'm all out of being punched in the face budget. Really? No, not really. Are you thick? You're not going to hit anyone. It's clear. Is that clear? Yes. But if he asks, I tell you, knock me out cold. Just out of curiosity, what to tell you about him becoming part of the pack. He said that you were looking at the best to recruit him, and he was the obvious choice. Yeah, that seemed like something he would say. Well, he was clearly full of crap. It's not a pleasant memory, but I believe you deserve to know the whole story. He didn't recruit him. Well, I guess we did. Yoden did. But that wasn't a matter of choice. Well, Yoden and I was started to following his mission together. We were rather successful. Everything was going smoothly, too easy. Even. Well, we're doing a lot of good, putting many sort of well-deserved smiles on oppressed faces. That's when, well, let our guard down. There was a secret guild formed by the higher out of the ranking knights and barons. We called them the vendors, bunch of really heartless bastards. Excuse me. Their most lucrative business was selling a living merchandise, and no, I'm not talking about animals. Please don't say it. Slavery was strictly forbidden in the realm. The queen was adamant about that. Well, the vendors had their own set of rules to follow. They caged them like cattle, mostly women and children, forced them to fight rats for the poor little rations that they were given in the damp dungeons they were held in. The guild preferred quality over quantity, so they didn't care about diseases and they didn't tend to wounds. I think I'm going to be sick. Sometimes it took them weeks to get dead out of the cages. Survival of the fittest, or rather outlasting of the least fortunate. It was simply horrible. If you may ask, all of them damned guild deserved a cruel and slow death, but that wasn't how we operated. Yoden made it very clear from day one we were never to take a life. That was the most important set of rules. Anyway, we managed to get everyone out. The carriage is full of broken people. Even the horses kept their heads low mourning. The despair in the air was even more poisonous than the stench of the rotting flesh. It was all that. We forgot to make ourselves safe as well. The mercenaries caught us and brought them to the torture chambers. Yeah, this gruesome place had an even worse room hidden inside. Unbelievable. The vendors weren't in the pleasant mood, so they sent the worst torture right away. I was horror-struck, truly petrified. When I could barely breathe, Yoden was still didn't say a word. Just looked at me. His eyes were relaxed but focused. I realized he wanted to be calm as well, but I just couldn't. He went first. Torture strapped Yoden to a chair and started swinging. His fists were like anvils. Every hit drew blood and broke bones. In a matter of seconds, Yoden's face looked like a bloody pulp. The only thing poking through it was his smile. He was one of the many I wondered if he was even human. Torture quickly realized that he needed different tools for such a unique specimen and went to grab his blades. That's when Yoden started talking. He was making him offers, one after another, but the torture just kept carving his torso. But he was preparing, like he was preparing a steak to be grilled. That was so much blood. I couldn't taste it in my mouth, I could tell.